Former DeRidder Mayor Misty Roberts arraigned on new charges after her original trial ended in a mistrial. The former mayor now stands accused of sex crimes with a minor. We heard last week about how the trial ended with confusion as to what indictment to hear. This morning, the prosecution filed a new bill of information, charging Roberts with 2 felony charges: indecent behavior with a juvenile and carnal knowledge of a juvenile. She pled not guilty to both. Today, the court also set a preliminary examination of evidence in the case. That date is set for February 12th, and her trial is set for February 23rd. This all comes after the Louisiana Supreme Court denied both the defense and prosecution's requests for the trial to continue with the original jury pool. We will, of course, keep you updated as we learn more.